Actually, John himself had the wrong version of Viaduct, but he was the same. He had to re-download it. Sorry, we're just a little bit late. It is Viaduct, which means that I owe Spin money, because Spin was 100% spot on. Broder picked Viaduct as their very first map. A little bit surprising for some, but if you've seen their recent win, 4-0 over Zaibatsu in that ESA Cup, it might not be too surprising, Spin.
Yeah, I mean, the reasons for picking it are pretty obvious. Like, they smashed them last time, they feel confident on the map. Like, why wouldn't they? Especially as it favours like strong DM players a lot, and Zappis is one of those. Maybe he doesn't fit in the team as well as Bibin does, but his DM probably does match up. So yeah, it's decent enough reason.
I guess we'll have to wait and see exactly what's going to happen. I just put my map in, Spin. As soon as they start, man, you're just going to have to do it. But my internet is so unbelievably terrible that I'm going to be a little bit late. But I should be alright, because I'm reconnecting now and it is working perfectly fine for me. So I'll be there at the start, no problem whatsoever. Obviously the teams, we just introduced them, we just went over it. But if you just joined, ladies and gentlemen, Cade is playing demo instead of Brego. In case you've lived under a rock and you've missed that over the past couple of weeks. And so Zaibatsu maybe has a little bit of a moral disadvantage. But Broder definitely, they've had a rough week, Spin. We can talk about this all day long. They've had a rough week, and I guess we'll just have to wait and see. As I can actually see, Spin, I don't know if you were in the server, but it looks like they've already started. I've actually missed quite a bit of it. And with saying quite a bit, in all honesty, I mean that Zaibatsu has picked up this first middle, ladies and gentlemen. So we are a little bit late. The map delays came in, but we're able to bring you guys the game. And a game that we're going to be able to show at the moment is that Marilyn has made his way into the server. No Merc was needed. The Steam client update has happened. And it looks like a very solid 4 to 5 man suicide. 5-man suicide of Broder actually happened. 2 nuts ended up going down into that one. So after Zaibatsu won the initial fight, Broder right now with this Uber advantage are going to look to get the clock going into their favor. I guess we'll have to wait and see exactly how Broder's going to push this one out. Are they going to go from this right-hand side? They are going to go from this right-hand side. Uber comes out early. Multi-man suicide actually coming in. 3 people going down. T-Mac, Tweak, and Ips all going down here for Zaibatsu. Samzi and Kate is still left alive. And the Uber, it is actually alright. It is not too bad. 40% at the moment for 2 nuts. 20% or so onto Marilyn. Yes, there's a disadvantage. And Broder, it looks like they've decided to hold the other side. I know that Broder likes on Viaduct. They like holding the other side, where they let Rib stick you up that massive pillar with the doorway on the side. It looks like now they've decided to hold on to that other top-hand side, where usually you put a sniper down or anything like that. And guess what? Mr. Jukebox, he's running sniper, unsurprisingly. And he's going to see if he can get one of the players of Zaibatsu down. The Uber is already completely evened out, and the shot from Jukebox comes down. Ips goes down. And with Samzi and T-Mac actually trading some frags down here, Mr. Jukebox does get taken down, but Zaibatsu, it might look like they're going to be able to pick up this middle, but 2 nuts actually does not have to supercharge just yet. Now he's going to hit it. He's immediately going to pop that one off. It is a 4 versus 4 scenario, but 1 player only very now so spawning. It looks like Zaibatsu's going to be pushed out on this one. Cadis, though, with the Wonder Pipes, hitting that one onto Cookie. He gets taken down, and Zaibatsu most surely going to cap this one off. And the timer on 1:58 exactly is where it stops for Broder. And that was the time that Zaibatsu still had left on the clock. So far, these teams very, very even. Zaibatsu having a slight edge at the moment.
Yeah, it's going really well for them, as you can see. Like like you said, they took the early advantage, and after losing out a little bit to Broder, they just brought it straight back. And Cadis with a great back onto Zebazai. They're really going to like stop their push, or slow it down at least, while they're trying to make this slow push with the sniper just behind them. Make some room for him to take shots and see what they can do. And the soldiers just coming bombing in from Zaibatsu. It's going down early though, and they haven't really achieved a whole great deal with that. They killed Cookie, but yeah, they've lost a lot of players in the trade. So not the best of trades for them, but I guess it was a calculated decision to try and get the sniper off the point.
It's a little bit weird though, because 2 nuts, he did have an advantage. Zaibatsu was walking around with that advantage, but against Jukebox, I guess they just realized, you know what, we gotta do something. We cannot just let the guy take pot shots at us. And on Twitter earlier, actually, Ip said very clearly, we're not looking to play Violent against these guys. They have a sick gamer in their lineup. He was obviously talking about Jukebox. That sniper play coming out of the Super Swede really helps them in all sorts of scenarios. Samzi right now having to bite to those. T-Mac once again just bombing in, getting that guy out of the equation, where both teams do have that Uber charge. Broder definitely going to fight this one off. Both Ubers do get exchanged quite evenly at the moment. Zaibatsu looking to have a positional advantage, but obviously Broder, they're looking to make this one happen. They get Tweak, they get Tunut straight off as well, and even though Cadis gets the kill into Zebasai, they're not going to mind this exchange whatsoever. Ip's actually missing that jump on the side. They're going to try and get the kill there onto Maryland. It's not going to work though. Broder seems to be positioned very well so far.
Yeah, you would not believe the extent of that drop at the kill onto Tunut. It was like a proper bite trap on the midpoint. As soon as the Uber came off, he popped the sticky trap and kills Tunut, and they actually managed to hold on to that. I really thought Zaibatsu had a much better position, but that sticky trap did help a lot for them, and just gave them gave Broder the advantage as soon as the Ubers were up, where it didn't look like they were going to be able to pull that back at all. The bombs came in from the Zaibatsu soldiers, but they didn't really achieve a great deal. Again, they were able to, the scouts from Broder were able to take them in, and they're just going to try and bully their way in actually now. Zaibatsu just taking a lot of point presence already, and Broder got a couple of players overextending here. Zappis goes down early, and that's not a great not a great time to die for him at all. And in response, Broder actually take down a lot of kills actually in response. So they've lost the point here, but they just took down Cadis as well, and it's just Tunut and T-Mac up, and they're not going to be able to hold this at all.
They know they have a disadvantage though, right? Like, this is the thing. Zaibatsu, they're just going to pop that Uber off, see if they can get a couple of players. They get Jukebox, just one. Let's see if they're going to be able to get any more. It looks like we're going to have a pulse coming in, which gives us the chance to analyse, at least apologise for missing the start of the game. Obviously, I was still downloading the map. I could not bring you guys to play-by-play. And I'm very sorry for that, but obviously we haven't missed that great of a deal, as it was just 1 minute, guys. Just 1 minute. Relax. I'm not looking at the Twitch side at the moment because it's broken, but I can assume you guys were all pissed off. I do apologise. Broder, so far though, it is very even in this first round. You got to keep in mind, last time these teams played together on July 7th in the ESA Open Cup #2 Grand Finals, Broder won Viaduct 4-0. Now on ETF2L we play a best of 5, so there's first of 3. For any of the American viewers, they might be a little bit surprised by that. I saw a quick unpause, which means that the game is going to go live any second. And this Uber that Tunut is popping off onto his buddy T-Mac at the moment. Just killing Jukebox is not going to cut it. They kind of need one more player. But if you see the players from Broder right now, they're just gathering around that area. I don't think T-Mac's going to be able to do a lot anymore. He's going to sit around, he's going to try and jump in. There you go, he's just going to get fragged. Maryland's going to build this Uber up with the rest of his team. You can see Broder probably coming into play here very, very early. The clocks are broken for me, which is going to make it very difficult to cast. But what we can see is that at the moment, Broder's going to try and make their way in. Zaibatsu's still trying to hold on to this one, though. It looks like Broder's going to pick up this point. 10 seconds is what they are behind. And Zaibatsu right now, they have about 30 seconds to break Broder here. And that 30 seconds is going to be very tough to break. Tunuts goes down at the Jukebox. He's switching to Soldier for the occasion, takes him down immediately. And Zaibatsu are in a very tough situation as they have 20 seconds to break a team, which they actually are able to do. I'm very, very surprised, Finn. How the hell did that happen?
It was actually a crucial play. Like, Jukebox came in for the bomb, but then at that moment I think Broder just gave up a little bit of a position, thinking that they had it won. I think honestly they thought they had it in the bag, and the bomb then came up from, I believe, Ips onto Tunuts, and that's not onto Tunuts, of course, onto Mylin, and it's an absolutely crucial frag for them, and just getting that means that his team's able to just completely take it. And yeah, the push just comes back in from Broder. They know they need to commit for the point, and they actually have everybody on the point now, bodies everywhere on the point, and this is the huge aggression coming out. If they can actually cap this and the ball's in their court to win or to lose, and the Zaibatsu players just coming, like, overwhelming them on the point now, and they're going to be able to take this back.
Yeah, Zaibatsu picked that one up. They waited for a long time, but they knew they could wait for a long time, right? Like, they realized it's okay if we kill a couple of the Broder players, they can cap that, but we're still going to cap that back in the 15 seconds left. I guess we'll have to wait and see. T-Mac has rejoined the server right now, and we're going to go into the second round here on CP Vied, or King of the Hill Vied, I should probably say. There's one CP, but that is pretty much all she wrote. King of the Hills going live with Zaibatsu and Broder starting the second round. T-Mac first guy to go down. Well played to Cookie for taking him down. The scouts from Broder reign supreme at the moment. Both of them already got a kill on the board, and with Zebasai and Rib getting the follow-up, and only Zap is actually dying out of that one. Broder very simply picking this one up. They're going to try a suicide onto Cadis at the moment. That's not going to happen. And Broder's going to be able to hold on to this one. Tunut's probably just going to build off this Uber, and then we can see Zaibatsu coming into that point to fight again.
Yeah, important first pick going the way of Broder that time. The scouts just shutting down T-Mac completely as he bombed into the point, and I think Zaibatsu knew that then that it was either commit or drop out. They decided to drop out with their medic. They sent Cadis to commit, trying to get a medic kill or a force or whatever, but he wasn't able to do so. And now it's just the suicides coming in. Cadis jumps behind just to give room for his soldiers to get in and be aggressive, and they've got the force. So they've achieved exactly what they wanted to achieve with this. And is Tunuts back in the spawn? I would imagine he is charging his Uber.
What do you, like, he already has the Uber, no problem, he's just waiting. What do you think about this? Because he had the Uber already. Obviously, they could have pushed a little bit out of position, but with the spawn advantages, we've seen a lot of teams doing that in the past. I think Zaibatsu has just realized, you know what, let's do it this way around. One thing that might play into the favor of Zaibatsu is they actually practiced Viaduct before this game. Broder did not, as far as I recall. I did not see them play Viaduct at all, so this was purely to surprise Zaibatsu, but they practiced this. They practiced this map. They were expecting it to come in. Maybe that's giving them a slight edge in this exchange.
Yeah, of course, they have to expect it after they lost it so convincingly on the last time, and they are looking dominant here. I mean, Broder has the upper hand in this round at the moment, but they're just looking like they have their game together. With the bombing from Cadus with the soldiers following up was very well executed, and it just gave them purely the presence to just take this point. And while they did have to use the Uber, which is a bit of a shame because it gives Broder the advantage to push in with. They actually forced him really early. Great bombing from Ips, and he goes down now, but it's pretty much wasted the entirety of the Uber. And they're actually just gonna drop back and rotate, and it's pretty smart play. But we've had this before. I remember casting the game with you before, where it's just the same thing was happening. I think at LMS game where they were just trading and trading and trading, and you know it's always well, eventually it's going to favour the team who has the advantage, which right now is Broder. So it's not something that Zaibatsu want to be keeping up if they want to try and take this map.
Trading is okay, but they kind of need a kill to Maryland or something here, right? Like, they're going to try and make their way in. They're probably going to succeed on making their way in, no problem whatsoever. Uber's still not forced the 2 nuts, and now he finally has to pop that one off. They kind of need to kill to Maryland. There comes Ips. Hits that one rocket. Is he going to be able to hit the follow-up? As Maryland actually serves his life away at the moment, still not being taken down. And yes, there's a couple of players of Broder die, but Maryland completely safe. And again, this trade scenario you were talking about, Spin. If you win the initial fight, and after that you just trade 30 seconds at a time, in the end you're still going to win. That medic or something heavy needs to go down at some point in order to break that Uber spell. And it looks like Ips is going to try that by running heavy weapons guy at the moment.
Yeah, this is some really poor suicides from Zaibatsu. T-Mac jumping in completely unaided right there, and Sweet sort of coming in a bit half and half. He wanted to come in and commit with T-Mac at the same time, or just not come in at all. And he came in a little bit late, both of them going down, and that's just 3 kills for absolutely nothing. And they still have their Uber intact, have the point, and now this trading has just worked out in their favour. This is the kind of situation Zaibatsu wanted to gain. And they just haven't, and they've just given Broder from their small advantage that they had into a massive one. It's really, it's all theirs to lose this round now.
Yeah, right now, Broder, really the only reason they're going to lose is if they mess up heavily. It looks like Jukebox Eva's going to try to put that advantage even a little bit bigger. He's 10 seconds on the clock. I don't think he's going to mind all that much. His job was to try and force 2 nuts. And in the end, all he did was cost them another 15 seconds, basically, as 2 nuts had to find his way towards a map pack. Now they're going to fight. Ubers are going to get exchanged here, very much so in favor of Zaibatsu. It is a 6 versus 6, though. And with Ips going down, Broder's going to like this exchange a lot, considering they only have 20 seconds left on the board here, Spin.
Yeah, I really would have liked to see Zaibatsu push a little bit earlier then, when they had the man advantage of Jukebox going down. The scout actually comes into the medic here and he gets taken down finally, dodging for his life there, so he can almost take down Mylin. But 2 nuts now going down, 4 down for Zaibatsu, and it's all down to the soldiers to try and make something happen. They're going to bomb in, but it's going to be completely futile, I think.
Yeah, you might as well, though. You might as well. Let's face it, what T-Mac is saying. He's just going to suicide into that one. Cannot do anything, and here comes the K to suicide. Actually gets quite a bit of stuff done. It's not going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. 1-0 is now on the board, as Zaibatsu and Broder are all tied up here on King of the Hill Viaduct. RC4, if you're wondering about why you cannot get into the server. RC4 is the version you want to have. It's a mistake I made earlier. And both of these teams right now are going towards their 3rd initial fight to sort of decide what's going on. Zaibatsu won the first one and won the first round. Broder won the second one and won the second round. I can see a correlation forming, and with the kills going Broder's way already, I think they might be looking very, very strong, Spin.
Yeah, shot down to T-Mac was massive again. Huge air shot, I think, from Zaibatsu, and takes him down early in the fight once more. And that just gives them the advantage from the get-go. And they've managed to take down Cadus fairly early as well. And the bomb now comes in from Ips onto the medic. Doesn't manage to take him down. I think he hit a small rocket, not enough to really worry Mylin, and his team shuts him down very, very well. So Broder again taking the first one, and I think the crucial difference here is that they're not running Jukebox on Sniper. Zaibatsu, they haven't been for the pushes, and Zaibatsu was shutting him down massively in that first round. They knew they needed to worry about the Jukebox Sniper, and they shut him down so well that they took that first round without really even breaking a sweat, I feel. And they've swapped that up now, and Jukebox is finally having a bit more impact.
And this is what we've been seeing Broder doing time after time again. When they have the point, when they have the Uber, they like to sit back, and then as soon as the point is almost capped, that's when they show up. That's how they like to play it. What they do as well is that they keep Jukebox sitting all the way in the back. And 2 nuts, again, Zaibatsu has done this the previous round, have done this the first round. Even when the situations are 100% versus 100%, they keep 2 nuts in spawn, and they send 5 players into suicide. And look, 2 nuts, it looks like, is he himself going to join into the fray this time? Yes, he is. Buffing everyone up. Half of the team goes left, half of the team goes right. Let's see if they're going to be able to break through here, Spin. It is going to be very difficult for them to make it happen. And especially with Feek immediately getting shut down by Jukebox, we might go into another suicide.
Yeah, this slow push is just—it's going to be hard to execute against a fully charged Broder team, and with Jukebox and Sniper. They have to walk into the Sniper, use their Uber much earlier than they would otherwise like. And we're just trading players. The Ubers are finally popped from both teams, but it's a favourable one from Broder here. Just keeping the single Uber onto Zaibatsu, finally multi-ing late in the fight when they know that they've got the positional advantage. Forcing everybody back, but the damage comes in from Ips and Cadus, and huge clean-up from them. They managed to take the fight just purely on DM. I feel that Broder had a massive positional advantage, and just fantastic play from Ips and Cadus really turned that one around.
Broder actually misread that situation completely. What 2 nuts did is he came from that rock on the right-hand side of the Zaibatsu side, basically, and Cadus was standing up there all that time. He was just standing, As soon as the Uber ran out, 2 nuts went back to him, buffed him to 260, and Cadus came in and played cleanup crew, and the Isle definitely at that moment in time was the point, as right now the multi-man suicide from Broder is going to come in. Not as successful so far, but Jukebox hitting that second rocket onto 2 nuts. And with 2 nuts going down, Broder got exactly what they were coming for, and it looks like they're really just on the way towards getting that second round.
Yeah, poor 2 nuts. I mean, you know, avoids everything. Team does really well to take everything down, and the final guy, just before he dies, it takes him down, and you know, it just makes all the previous deaths completely useless for Zaibatsu. So I'm a bit unfortunate. His position was quite good, I feel, but yeah, it's, you know, ultimately he did get caught out and he got taken down. But I don't like the idea of these 5-man suicides. Mate, I think it's quite easy to avoid if you know it's coming, and I favour these kind of slow pushes. But right now they know that they can just push in, and in fact, Myelin drops the Uber. Ips jumping in and drops him like without him even realising. I think it didn't even look like he moved or anything. Just jumped in.
Ips got absolutely juggled. Ips got destroyed, and I was watching Zaibatsu. Zaibatsu tore him apart, and suddenly I heard a fizzing noise from the back. And I was like, wait, did Marilyn actually catch those 2 random rockets from Ips that fell into that corner? He actually did. Marilyn did get dropped, but Broder, they love doing this. Even when Marilyn drops, they got this phenomenal sniper that can just turn fights around if you try. You see T-Mac immediately going in on him. Feek now going down to Jukebox. It is a 5 versus 4, and Broder might feel the need to play here, as they do get the pick there with the 2 nuts. Zappis now kills off Cadus, and it looks like 2 nuts, yes, he gets the kill to Zaibatsu. Oh, Cookie, you gotta put him off, man. There you go. As 2 nuts now drops, it looks like Zaibatsu in a very difficult scenario in order to try and hold on towards this round.
Myelin getting crazy greedy at the end. I don't know if he was greedy or if he just didn't realise that Ips was hiding around this corner, but he ran out into him with needles. I think Jukebox had called him weak, so he went for the needle kill, and he almost walked straight into a death there. But you know, lucky for him, Ips took a self-damage rocket, and he did actually drop to the needles. But a little bit careless from him, and I feel that Broder, you know, they sort of need to get their composure back and not be making these kind of mistakes when they're in the driving seat. They need to just keep their advantages and play it safe. I think, you know, they're taking sort of these. They're just sort of playing a little bit outside of what I expect them to. Like when Myelin dropped the Uber, they're just pushing a little bit slower than they otherwise would have. Just stick to the game that they know they can play and just you know, control it. And they did that exactly just now, and they've retaken the point.
There's going to be one last, but in honesty, they might actually be delayed. Zaibatsu was charging up here on last, realized, oh god, there's only 5 seconds left. They're going to charge in onto this one. Don't think it's going to matter all that much. They're going to land on the point. Uber's going to come out, and the 2-1 is on the board. Match point right now for Broder. And from interviews with Zaibatsu, we've heard throughout the season, everyone from Broder likes Viaduct except for Marilyn. He hates it. That's just the way it is. It's the way Broder plays Viaduct. But their strategy, the way they play it, seems to just completely work against pretty much everyone apart from Epsilon.
But yeah, they've swapped up Jukebox a lot more this time, and it's working really well for them. Again, T-Mac going down very early, and it's just providing this crucial pick for them. But they actually turn it around this time. The scouts from Zaibatsu getting a couple of early kills as well, and they're just starting to clean up this middle. They've taken down 3 players, and it's going to be them just carrying the team on their backs right now. And fantastic play from the 2 scouts, Samzi and Tweak, of course, and they take down a couple of players early on. just seals the mid for them. And finally Zaibatsu in control of this round, and that's exactly what they wanted. They didn't want to have to come into this round and try and fight from behind again.
Well, they were in control of first round. They picked that one up, right? If you really think about it, if you let the stats do their work, they should be picking this round up, and we should be going through some sort of intense thing. The suicide comes in. Tunuts doesn't have the Uber yet. Oh my god! The guy now, here comes Jukebox. He has to pop that Uber off. I cannot believe that. Jukebox just flying across the map. I think he rocket jumped like 3 times there, still reloading rockets in midair to take that Swedish medic down. In the end, barely hitting that 100%, picked that one up, and Tunuts barely going to stay alive, but in honesty, the cost for it is so unbelievably high. Maryland has that Uber ready to rock and roll, and there's going to be 5 Scandinavians and 1 Latvian medic. They're going to make their way on towards this point right now, and I don't think there's anything that Zaibatsu can do apart from suicide 2 or 3 players in and trying to get that force down. Look at Jukebox coming in once again. He's creating havoc all across the Zaibatsu, even if he cannot do anything, even if he doesn't get the kill. Just his presence there across the Zaibatsu ranks, he's catching them off guard. He's doing a phenomenal job so far this map.
They've got Tweak on Sniper right now, and he's had so many shots onto Miley, and I can't believe that he didn't manage to hit that. He's not one of these snipers that you expect to miss these shots once they're given to him, and I'm not sure. I mean, I wasn't watching from his POV, but I was watching from behind him in third person. It just looked like he could have hit Miley a good few times, and maybe just feeling the pressure a little bit there, but it's unfortunate for him, because if he had, it would have really made a sort of game-changing moment for his team. And the Uber's actually coming now from Tunuts, and Ibs getting taken down early is just not what they want in this kind of exchange. And Jukebox back on the sniper just to take down Tweak, of course, who's playing it at the moment. And yeah, I can't really see what Zaibatsu are trying to achieve. It just looks like a little bit of a panic play right now. Jukebox taking down T-Mac, and Kadus dropping to Zappis, and Jukebox really is just proving his worth right now. They shut him down early in the first game, but switching in between Soldier and Sniper has meant that they haven't been able to just shut him down all the time. It's meant that the Broder team is a bit more versatile, and he is hitting the headshots he needs to, and
it's just unbelievably hard to predict, right? Like, I think that's the main thing. Zaibatsu, they really don't know what to expect, and I guess they're going to get their own suite onto Sniper right now, see if they can just duel each other out. Zappis picking up that heavy weapons guard. We've not seen this, and Tunos actually going down. Yeah. The body shot from Jukebox proving absolutely vulnerable, and Maryland's like, nope, I'm getting out of here. Even if my entire team dies, it's very important that I stay alive. And that's the way they play. They're sitting on this top left side. They're going to wait for the team to walk in, and when it's almost capped, that's when they jump towards the point. It's the Broder style of playing. We've seen it against every single team they faced all season. In whatever scenario, when they have the advantage, when they have the player advantage, they sit, they wait, they let Jukebox take the pot shots, get them low, get them to force that Uber early, and at the very last moment they commit to fights and get the damage and the frags done. Very well played by Broder, very organized, and this is the first time we actually see Jukebox just getting out-dueled, and now Broder a little bit late onto coming towards that point, and with the heavy weapons, you kind of want to be there early. Zappis is a little bit late, might actually prove very valuable here to the Zaibatsu boys. They're a minute down, capped off that point, but immediately it gets recapped, obviously. Tunuts, though, does have a slight window to work with here. 25 or so percent. Obviously, that 25% window is the time that Tunuts is going to need in order to make his way towards this middle point, especially with Jukebox still on Sniper and knocking people out of the way.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely huge how this fight pans out. Is really going to affect the end of this game. If Zaibatsu win it, then it could go to another round. But if they don't, it's over. It's completely over for them. And they're coming in aggressive now. They're focusing the heavy. The heavy's taking a lot of damage, but he doesn't go down early enough, in my opinion. They do get the cap nice and quick before the Uber pops off, in fact. And this has gone really well for Zaibatsu. If they catch Marlin out here, it's going to be absolutely huge, and he goes down. Fantastic play from them. Ips finally getting the final rocket to take them down. Huge aggression from them. Kadus and Ips again proving that they're worth their salt, and yeah, fantastic play from them. But they just start losing players now, and Broder know they have to be aggressive, and they're picking people off here like left, right, and centre. And Tunuts is completely caught out now. He's running back, and he gets picked up by T-Mac, who manages to protect him from Zappis. But the recap has come the way of Broder, and Broder now back in control after some fantastic play from Zaibatsu. It's unfortunate. They feel like they're just losing their presence once they get such a great moment.
Great playmaker there at the moment was Zebasai, getting that call. Guys, we got spawn advantage. Let's rush our way in there and just pick off the low health players. Forces Zaibatsu to do things that they have to do right now. It looks like they're going to try and maybe hold on to this one. Minute and 18 seconds still is what they need to get, but they're going to get their time on the board. But once again, Maryland, I think all he needs to do is just send his players in, keep a scout in spawn, and then if they don't get anything, push at 100. If they do get something, still push at 100 and win. Like, it's it is still Broder's to lose. The 0 is on the board. All they need to do is cap the middle once. It puts an immense amount of pressure onto Zaibatsu here. I would not be surprised if Broder's just going to walk in here. It looks like that's what they're going to do. And let's see, does Zaibatsu have the thing to hold them off? Kate is already going down. Big problem. Marilyn goes down. No Zappis, and everyone from Broder actually going down here. Good exchange for Zaibatsu. They cannot let Broder cap this one. And it is a second wipe now in favor of Zaibatsu. And are they really managing to pull this one off? 35 seconds left on the clock. 2Nuts, he does not have that Uber yet, but he might do in just a couple of seconds. And Broder, once again, now, they're going to have to do the exact same thing, but against an Uber charge. That's going to be unbelievably rough. But they're going to see if they can come through. Ips comes in, gets the kill to Marilyn very early. And oh my god, we get that Uber not getting popped off. As 2Nuts dropped that off. It's not going to matter, though, as everyone from Broder suicided in onto that one. Unfocused. And 2Nuts a little bit of an embarrassing moment. They're getting taken down. 4 seconds left on the clock. I'm sure there's going to be a couple of Scandinavians trying to fly in onto this one, but Broder's not going to be there in time. They're going to try, though. They're going to keep on trying. Keep suiciding in onto that point. They're not going to be there in time, though. And the 2-all, ladies and gentlemen, comes on the board from a defeated position. The boys from Zaibatsu break through first and then hold on twice in order to make themselves a participant still on Viaduct here. Decider round, their 5th and last round onto Viaduct. And I seriously think there's not a single better way to start with the ETF2L semi-finals here.
Yeah, it's fantastic from them. Just like 3 exchanges in a row. Zaibatsu getting a complete team wipe, and it's, it's exactly what they needed. And 2 scouts going down early on in this interaction. T-Mac again going down. 2Nuts and getting picked up by a Jukebox though, and this is almost certainly going to go the way of Broder. But as I say that, Mylin's under huge pressure. He gets taken down, but they've got 1 player behind. Ips just sitting on the health pack here on Broder's right side, and he's going to come and surely going to bomb in for this medic on the point. He's been caught out by a scout here though, and he's not going to have any impact. I don't think. Yeah, he gets taken down. But yeah, I think Zaibatsu just showing their composure, really well played. They needed a strong showing out of the last couple of fights in that round, and they really did. And I don't know how really Broder didn't manage it. They took down Cadus very early in the fight. He was caught out a little bit on his own left side, and he got taken down almost before the fight even begun. But just using that, I guess that sort of cemented their team play, and they managed to come in with a better focus. T-Mac coming in for the bomb. Yeah, all the aggression coming in now, but Mylin isn't going to be caught out. There's a scout behind him just running about, causing a nuisance, but that extra time that he stayed alive is just going to mean that he's not going to get the spawn as fast.
This is my question though, Spin. Like, 2Nuts is about to hit the super. We've seen them do this a couple of times already, where they still suicide 5-man in and keep 2Nuts in spawn. It looks like they've decided not to do it this time around. Maybe they're just gonna, like, they've had more success with him there, I guess. Like, did he actually buff them up and did he go back? No, he's actually going all the way in. I did not end up checking. Double, and it looks like they might try to do the exact same thing, keeping Cadus on that right hand side, keeping him out of the fight for a long time, and then Uber in straight afterwards. T-Mac going down very much so. First Jukebox got taken down though. It is a 5 versus 5, but the sticky trap from Rib in true Demoman style gets the double onto Tvik and onto Ips right there. That's obviously going to prove completely disastrous right here for the Zaibatsu guys. And even though Marilyn had to pop off that Uber, he had to use that one in order to stay alive. Broder, they're going to sit into that top left-hand corner, get their guy onto Sniper, and as soon as Jukebox is sitting there on top of that side, it's going to be very difficult to break through. Tvik needs to win this duel.
Yeah, I mean, that's massive. The sticky trap from Rib again, getting crucial kills in there, early on in that fight. As the Uber was popped off, it just put Zaibatsu in a hugely weak position, and they couldn't even force Mylin like nearly as early as they wanted. But Sweet getting the kill onto Rib here really tips the fight in their favour. No sticky trap this time. Rib down, and they can just walk onto the point a little bit. They don't have to put even too much pressure on them to get back. And Broder's just playing it smart. They've got a 2-minute advantage. They know they can just back off, and the pressure really is on Zaibatsu, and Broder know that, so they can take some time, regroup, and repush with once they get there.
I'm gonna come out and be a little bit scared. Spin. There's no time limit 0 on the map. There is not. That means that there's now 2 minutes left on the clock. If the time runs out, they have to start this round again. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I just messaged Zaibatsu spamming him. There's a time limit, you need to pay attention. I guess we'll have to wait and see as this Uber fight just got exchanged. No frag, so 4 T-Mac now goes down. And its feet going down. Broder's going to take just control over this area, at least for the time being. Ips gets a double. It's not going to be enough, though, for the rest of Zaibatsu as they got completely wiped right here. And Broder just going to cap off this point once again. And they're in the massive driving seat. But never say never. They were this last round. They were exactly in this spot last round, and they managed to throw it away.
Yeah, they're playing really defensive on the point now. There's actually fantastic play from Zaibatsu in that last interaction. As they were backing off, he just jumped above onto this bridge, and it was impossible for them to back out. Then he just split the focus, took a load of damage, but didn't die. And you know, it's exactly how you need to play Soldier. So anyone willing to take notes, watch the demos, of course, of Zaibatsu. Fantastic play from him. And Zaibatsu getting a little bit worried now. You can see they're anxious. They're taking fights that they wouldn't otherwise take, and they're pushing early. T-Mac going down early, and Tweak getting a kill in response, but T-Mac and It's both down now, and 2Nuts as well going down to the stickies of Rib, and it's just looking like it's a situation that favours. We've had this so many times. Broder just looking so strong in the interaction, and then maybe overextending a bit, maybe not focusing so well, and it's going the way of Zaibatsu. And
it's greedy. It's
finally,
it's pure greed. It's been 5 kills for Scouts there, as Samzy and everyone just actually came in onto that one. 3 seconds left on the board now for Broder. That overtime situation not going to happen just yet, but there's definitely still chance here. Now, this is the thing I'm very curious for, and there you go. Look in the chat, Spin. I don't know if you can see. That was
yeah,
my
close.
Call. That was my call. I saved this map. Can I just get some credit for that one? As Kata says, good call, chat. Broder's going to suicide into this one. Going to try and break through here. They suicide onto the left-hand side. Samzy goes down. That's under a lot of pressure. He goes down,
huge,
but once
huge
again,
pipe, yeah. Huge
the
pipe from Rib.
exchange that goes still in favor of Zaibatsu. They hold. And even though Maryland is sitting into that spawn area, that is an exchange that really could have gone in favor of Broder, because their fragging abilities, the way they've worked throughout these exchanges so far has been absolutely phenomenal. And this is the thing. This is the push that could win them the map. 5 seconds until this Uber is going to hit. 3 seconds on the board. As Broder right now are going to make their way in. 2Nuts does not have to Uber. T-Mac cannot get anything done. The Uber right now gets forced out of Maryland. This is the push that should make it happen, ladies and gentlemen.
The 2 players down now, and they know they can't push.
It is 6 versus 4. They should really get this, but Zaibatsu, they're going to commit, and they're going to commit right now. 1 second left on the board. And can Broder do this, or can they not? It looks like Broder's going to pick this one up. And Broder, unsurprisingly, winning Viaduct. But the way it happened, very, very, very impressive play from Zaibatsu. They didn't manage to pull this one out of the bag, though, and Broder picked this one up. First map to Broder.
Yeah, I mean, the suicide onto 2Nuts at the end was just exactly what they needed. Perfect orchestration of that push, and took him down, and that just meant that they could push on with the Uber advantage. And Zaibatsu played it pretty well. They actually threw some players onto them to get the Uber force early, and Mylan's Uber was almost useless, but with the 2-man advantage, they just walked onto the point and they just bullied them back. And Zaibatsu left it far too late to try and push back in. They did try, but by then the point was almost already capped, it was already capped, and they had to block it then. And it was just, it was never going to go their way really with that kind of advantage in Broder's favour.
Just one thing that I want to confirm to the boys in chat at the moment: we do have the communication to Broder and Zaibatsu to our availability, and I've heard that the chat is actually asking for that. So I'll try to get that one coming in onto the next 2 maps, guys. In honesty, I just completely forgot about it. So I do apologize if you guys wanted to hear that and I missed out on it. I really just got the call. I don't have the Twitch chat working. So we'll see if we can get that one working in onto the next map, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back here as the next map is going to come out. We don't know which map it is, but can we take a guess onto Gollywash? Really? Can we, Spin?
Yeah, I think it's a safe bet if you're going to go Gollywash. Could be a surprise pick for Badlands. They haven't looked so strong on it, like we said before. So Badlands or Gollywash for me.
Alright, so before we change map, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say thanks so much here for joining us at Team Fortress TV. It's the ETF2L semi-finals between Broder and Zaibatsu, a grudge match between the two, as every single map so far, apart from, obviously last week was an exception, but from the 8 maps they've played, and with today, the 9th map they've played together, against each other basically over the past month or so, 7 of the 9 maps have been with a 1-point difference on the board, and today's no exception, ladies and gentlemen. 3-2 on Viaduct. Broder picks that one up, and as we go towards the second map, we don't know what it is yet. Gollywash is a safe bet. And honestly, we're going to have to wait and see. Is Zaibatsu going to pull a trick or not? We're going to see in just a little bit here at Team Fortress 3. Broder versus Zaibatsu is going to continue just after this.